per par for the course, members of MAGA are once again suffering from a problem they spend a whole lot of time screaming about the left partaking in. Somehow, they can't seem to keep their hands off of kids.
Pissed off Bartender is back to shed light on things those outside the cult can easily see.
Recently, we brought you the story of Tennessee's Republican legislature becoming the first in the country to pass a draconian bill essentially banning drag. Under the bill, public drag performance in Tennessee would be an actual felony. And as this bill was headed to the desk of Tennessee's Republican Governor Bill Lee, who said he would absolutely sign it, ostensibly to protect Tennessee's children, what should surface but this photo, appearing to show none other than Republican Governor Bill Lee in drag in his 1977 high school yearbook. And now we've got another one. This gentleman is Nate Schatzline, a brand new Republican state legislator in Texas, who pretty much made it his first order of business in office to write a bill similar to Tennessee's, restricting drag in Texas. And lo and behold, what should surface but a video of Representative Schatzline in drag. This video, posted by a Democratic activist, shows Schatzline in his pre-politician days, frolicking in a black dress.
As we've seen over and over through countless examples, Republicans targeting drag has shown to be not only spineless, but also cowardly. It is a tactic to not protect kids, but score cheap political points with their base.
Minnesota Senator Justin Eichorn, the exact same sad sack of sorry human excrement who introduced the TDS syndrome bill, arrested on charges of soliciting a minor. Hold up, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Why don't I see anywhere in this article where Eichorn was performing drag?
Another great point. Eichorn has since resigned. Per NPR News, he faces a federal charge of attempted coercion and enticement of a minor. Not a trans person, not a drag queen, just a Republican.
Should biological men be able to expose themselves to unwilling women, including underage girls? The Equality Act mandated that biological men could play in women's sports, could go to women's bathrooms, could go to women's locker room. The women were not asked. The women were not asked if biological men could go into their locker rooms and disrobe with them. You sponsored it and voted for it. You just said a minute ago you didn't agree with men exposing themselves to unwilling women. If you didn't agree with that, why did you sponsor and vote for legislation that would mandate that women be victimized like that?
It's all a distraction, all a smokescreen to keep the people divided by targeting the marginalized in an effort for one party to retain power. Meanwhile,
here we go. One from my home state, Alabama. Tuscaloosa police officer Corey Burcham arrested Monday on possession of CSAM. Wait, hold up a minute. What's wrong with this woke website? It doesn't show anywhere on here where he was about to sign up for bottom surgery.
are they talking about the number of police officers like Corey Burcham who are arrested via AL.com on charges related to child sex abuse material found on his personal phone? Of course not, because the cops serve the purpose of protecting the elite and property, which the likes of Cruz benefit from.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
But before they claim that this is not about banning books and not about harming the LGBT community, let's just look at the impacts of similar Republican legislation that has already passed on the state level. Look at these books that have already been banned due to Republican measures. The Life of Rosa Parks. This apparently is too woke by the Republican Party.
It's about book banning, of course. 2 years ago, more than 1,600 books were banned in the United States of America. Here are three of the key books that the right-wingers have been going after. Khaled Hosseini's The Kite Runner, about the dangerous fanaticism, authoritarianism, and abuse of the Taliban, a right-wing religious fundamentalist movement all about censorship and repressing women's control over their own bodies and their own fertility. The Handmaid's Tale, Margaret Atwood's extraordinary dystopian novel about a right-wing misogynist movement which uses high technology and depraved religious ideology to control not only the minds of their followers, but the private and public lives and the fertility of women. And of course, George Orwell's 1984, because they have no sense of irony. They're always trying to censor this one. It's amazing to me to see politicians who oppose a universal violent criminal background check and who defend assault weapons after the massacres at Columbine, after Parkland, Florida, after Sandy Hook in Newtown, Connecticut, after Uvalde, after Santa Fe, Texas, that they are now going to keep America's children safe by banning The Handmaid's Tale in 1984.
AOC and Jamie Raskin point out just how hypocritical this entire movement is.
Folks, it sickens me to say what is about to be said, but I can do this all day. And you know the one thing that won't show up when I do it? A drag show. I could sit right here with a list of known predators 9 miles long and not a single one of them would be a trans person.
You said that you're a trans woman.
A trans female, yes, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
I never said anything about genitalia.
Oh, it had everything to do with genitalia.
But I'd just be willing to bet with the way things seem to be themed this week, if you turn your TV to Fox News right now, you will see somebody talking about a trans person. But not one of them will show a single mention of a pastor, politician, or a police officer out here being a real predator. MAGA, my next question is specifically for you. At what point are you going to stop letting these motherfuckers play you like a fiddle and take you for a fool? At what point are you going to realize that you have been sold a boogeyman by the bad guy so you won't see what he's got going on behind your back? When are you going to recognize that you are being used as nothing more than a weapon to be wound up and pointed down a warpath towards your fellow people? I am begging you to please pay attention and stop letting these motherfuckers in suits spin you up and sell you on the idea of being scared of somebody and something you don't understand. Instead, spend that energy on purging your own ranks of these predators that are out here preying on the children that you scream so loudly about wanting to protect. Or do you not actually care about the kids? Because from where I'm standing, it sure seems like they have become nothing more than a convenient scapegoat for your bigotry. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. MAGA has a predator problem.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.